If I had a scorecard of all-time biggest and most frequently asked questions that I get as a pastor, somewhere near the top has to be this question: how do I know God's will for my life? So this comes from all kinds of different people, church members who want to ask, I'm going to make this career move, I don't know if this is God's will. Or a high school student now who asks me, I don't know if I should go to this college or this college, I don't want to make the wrong choice, I want to do what God's will is. How do I know? Well, good news, we're going to take on this really tough question this week. That's the good news. Bad news, this is actually a very complicated topic. More than you might superficially think. This is not just an answer to a question type of deal here. There's going to be a lot of thinking. So I'm going to challenge you this week. We're going to think deeply about God's will and human will, and then how those things intersect in our lives. And we're going to find a really good answer. So follow along this week and we'll come to a great answer. What is God's will for my life? So let's start with this first. As a parent, did you ever find yourself maybe letting this slip before? Maybe when you were a kid, your parent said it to you. Well, I'm the parent here and I'll do whatever I want to do. Yeah, I'll confess that maybe that slipped out of my lips a few times. But you get the point, right? I have absolute power and authority. I'm in charge here. I can do whatever I want. I know that's a limping illustration, but that's sort of where we begin with God. Psalm 115 says, our God is in heaven. He does whatever pleases him. So where do we start with God's will? Well, God is God. He's in charge. He has absolute power and he's in control. He has absolute might. So God's will then is definite. God's will is absolute. God's will always happen. Now, if that's something that's going to maybe freak you out a little bit and make you scared, don't be. Because God describes himself in the Bible as a loving and compassionate God, slow to anger and abounding in love and faithfulness. So that's to say that his absolute will is driven by love. Even if bad things might happen in this world that's now imperfect and broken by sinfulness, that's not God doing bad, that's God allowing bad, because in his loving will, he's going to work it out for your good. More on that later to come. So when we talk about God's will, here's where we start today. God has absolute power, control, and authority. He is God, and he always accomplishes his will. But good news, God's will is driven by his love for you. So put your trust in God, the God who is absolute, all-powerful, and trust that his will is going to be driven by love for all creation, especially for you and your life.